We are the seventh country in the world to establish our representative mission office here in Jerusalem. There are 100 countries represented in Israel with their embassies in mostly in Tel Aviv. We are the seventh of those that decided to accept the offer to establish our office in Jerusalem. Thank you all very much for your part, not only tonight, but your part in the preparation and also in the extension and the continuation of the good relationship we have had with the State of Israel since 1970. Some of you may recall that we had a mission in Fiji. The Israeli diplomatic office, the embassy was set up in Fiji, and the ambassador rented my house in Talanoa as his official residence. Since then, I've always wanted to have our own embassy here in Israel. It has been a very long time. Some of you may, some may not know that when most of our traditional partners turned away from Fiji in 1987, Israel stepped up to fill the gap. They gave us some the Boer-class patrol boats and also some Uzi submachine guns. It was a demonstration of the friendship that we have had with the State of Israel since Fiji's independence in 1970. And I've always felt that we should have an embassy set up here in Israel. I didn't think that they would offer us a place here in Jerusalem, but when they did, and the recommendation was that we accepted, I accepted. And it was a great honor for me to be here at the official opening of our embassy in Jerusalem. Those of you who are here as part of the Rfmf contribution to world peace, may I thank you most sincerely from the government point of view. On behalf of the government and His Excellency the President, Commander-in-Chief, on behalf of the Cabinet, we thank you for your role. We thank you for being steadfast in this very difficult time in the history of our peacekeeping here in the Middle East. It's probably the most prolonged period of hostilities, and we respect you very much for your steadfastness and your decision to continue to man your posts. At this time, or before we came, there was a lot of debate at home whether we should come or not. whether the Minister for Information should come or not. And those of you who have seen my response to those questions will see why I've decided to come, and also to bring some lady members of the delegation, particularly the Minister for Information, to see for herself what you men and women go through here in the Middle East. On our way from the airport to the hotel last night, we were asked to stop. We stopped on the side of the road because there was a warning that there was some incoming hostile little things that fly through the air that you're so familiar with. It was good for us to go through that, so when Honourable Tambuya goes back, at least she knows what it's like to be driving on the road and it comes through the system, there's something incoming, that everybody, if you're close to cover, you go for cover, otherwise you just pull up and hope for the best. And that's probably an everyday happening for you, those of you who are here on peacekeeping duties. May I thank you most sincerely. We congratulate you and thank you for holding the colors and the banner up and Fiji's flag flying high since we took on this role in 1978. You have some big footsteps to follow. We have established a good reputation. We've established a good name, and you have very efficiently carried on that legacy, that reputation, that profile of the Rfmf being excellent soldiers for peace. We're proud of you. Those of you who are here, thank you for what you're doing. Those with ICJ, Nawa Lebanon Itabi, Nawa Lebanon Dinatiko and Itabi Ninkarama. So on behalf of the delegation that's come from Fiji, we thank you most sincerely for this very simple, but still totally meaningful ceremony to welcome this evening. We now will able, our prayers are with you. We pray for the peace of Jerusalem. We pray for peace. You know that we have established, or we have declared Pacific as the ocean of peace. It's nothing new. When Ferdinand Magellan discovered the Pacific and renamed it the Pacific, when it was known before then as the Great Southern Ocean, he put Pacific as the name because he saw that it was a peaceful region. Maybe he didn't go through during the cyclone season. He thought it was always calm. But then we know that the current cyclones that we witness have been more severe, perhaps because of the climate change. But we declared that last week. On Thursday last week, the leaders of the Pacific in the Pacific Islands Forum Leaders Meeting in Honiara and Solomon Islands signed the declaration. And next week I'll be telling the world that we have done that and encouraging world leaders to work towards peace in their regions. We know there's conflict going on in Europe, here in the Middle East. There's potential for conflict in Asia. But what we are hoping for is that people in leadership roles all over the world will take on the concept of peace. I congratulate the world leaders the Prime Minister of Israel, the President of the United States, the President of Russia and France, and the President of Ukraine, and everyone who has been working for peace, I congratulate them. We can never give up on attempts to bring about peace in the parts of the world where we are. I'm glad that we haven't proposed that in Fiji. Having played this role since 1978, we paid supreme sacrifice for it, and it was continuing. So, on behalf of us all, we thank you, we congratulate you, and we pray that God will watch over you. We pray for the peace of Jerusalem and the peace of the region. And once again, Nasar William.